All right, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. As per usual, I appreciate it. Let me put this. All right, so of course, trying to get ready, and the inevitable always happens. Bullshit. All right, good. So we're in business. All right. So let's get the 5x5s out of the way. Sarita, Adobe, Williams, Lexi, Maria, Vizard, thank you for 5x5. Jeep Girl, Pure, Raccoon, Renee, thank you for the 5x5. Crossbones, Buy the Book, Sojourner, Beef and Chicken, Smoking, Bob, WTC, Let's Go, Hudson Valley, Ekte, Water, Rhonda, thank you for the 5x5. Colt, F you all, appreciate it. Prep Reveler, what's going on? Angryprepper, Tom, Jasp, J-Pass, I'm pretty sure I said that wrong. Thank you for the 5x5, 3%er, Laura, Brian, Shannon, Master Blaster, Robert Moody, and Dan Rose. Thank you for the 5x5. And Brian Edward, I probably said that already. It's delayed on here. And Maria and Prep to Adapt, thank you for the 5x5 on Rumble. Appreciate it. Lori, Jordan, appreciate it. And New World. So, June, Kathy, and Nomad, thank you for the 5x5. So, interestingly enough today, guys, it's been oddly quiet. Now, I'm releasing a video on that tomorrow morning, right? Tomorrow morning. I'm also releasing a video about the graduation that has been circulating the internet, the black graduation, that embarrassment of a graduation. I'm going to be talking about that tomorrow as well. Again, tomorrow morning on the Angry Truth channel. But I find that there's a lot of things that are it's just too quiet. It's oddly quiet with everything going on. There's not much going on. That's the problem. Though, I do find something interesting. We're going to talk about something interesting with the Mr. 19 event that just popped up on our radar today. And I say that because the Trump administration just lowered the requirements or restrictions or something like that for the Mr. 19 arm ticket, right? So it's interesting where they're trying to go with this. Kathy Avicito, black graduation. Yeah. Kathy, just type it up on Twitter or some shit. You'll see what I mean. You'll see it within the first, couple of posts. It was a huge embarrassment. I've never seen anything like it. Sick and Ghastly, I do not know anything about Kanye West and anything of that. I tune him out. People like he means well, he's a psych patient. It's the bottom line. He's always been a little off, but with age, and if he was on medication, it makes it worse all the time. People have to understand, psych patients, guys, do not belong in society. They don't. There is no version where they get to live comfortably amongst us, normal people. And I say normal very loosely. Black fatigue here. Yeah, 3%, exactly. But that 3%, that's way beyond black fatigue. That's like some different shit. Anyway. With that, psych patients, I'm outside, doing my rucking, right? So I have my backpack on, I'm rucking around, and I'm just seeing crackheads after drug addict just roaming the streets. And people don't understand how bad it is here, and I should do a live stream during the day so that you guys can actually see what the hell's going on. But there's a mixture of both. There's psych patients running around the street just doing oddball shit, laying down in the middle of traffic, jumping on top of people's cars, punching windshields for no reason at all. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Yeah, so it's bad. But society, or excuse me, people here in New York, and I'm pretty sure in California, they state that these people should have a normal life, and that with the proper medication and dosage, they can live a normal life. No, the fuck, they can't. They can't live a normal life here. Like, not at all, not even a little bit. I don't understand why people seem to think that they can. But yeah, it's bizarre that these people, like, if they stay on their meds, and all of it's saying if they stay on their meds, if they do this, there's nothing you can do for these people. Listen, I don't feel bad for a lot of these people here. Again, I had an aunt. She was a psych patient. She was sick, and we knew that growing up. My father had always told us. And then when she got older, she got worse, and she got worse pretty badly. To a point where she knew she was so bad that she was comfortable with staying in a psych institute. But nonetheless, society continues to think that these people deserve the proper, that they can live among us, that it's okay, and it's not. It really isn't. I mean, bad enough, guys. We got people who hide amongst us, and then they do off-the-wall shit like off their entire family because one thing goes wrong in their life. They're committed to taking their entire family out. Alcohol says, I suffer from depression. Do you think I need to be put in an institute? If you can function, then you can function. But I'm talking about the people. And first of all, depression is not a real psych issue. A real psych issue is like, manic depressive, bipolar, some kind of schizo. That's real psych. People go, I suffer from depression. I have a... No, you don't. Get the fuck outside in the sun. Stop staying indoors. Do the shit that needs to be done. Work out. Go for a walk. You're going to cure a lot of your problems. Start fasting. That cures a lot of minor psych issues like anxiety or depression. Those things go away if you do the right things. Doctors have you convinced that you need to be put on medications for the sake of keeping their pockets fat. So a lot of people, I just tell people all the time, I'm like, yo, if you're suffering from this and that, stop. It's not that serious. Now, obviously, if you're bipolar, I don't know what you can do to reverse that. But I know with depression and anxiety, there's a lot of things you can do to reverse it. And it starts with, like Trump once says, eating red meat, exercising, and talking to people. Talking to people helps a lot. Oh man, someone just asked, how's my diet going? It's good. I'm down to 260. I'm down 17 pounds. I'm hoping to break the 20-pound mark by the end of this week. So what is today? Tuesday? I'm hoping by Friday or Saturday to be down a full 20 pounds. And then I have I'll have 20 more pounds to go. So if I start looking all emaciated, it's because I'm trying to win a bet. So excuse me. Yeah, bipolar needs meds, but the thing with bipolar and schizo, that there's got to be something more, because meds don't work for bipolar patients. It doesn't. I don't give a fuck what anybody tells me. I watched people, and when I was in the EMS, I watched bipolar patients go down a road they could not return from. Yes, it works for a little while, but then it stops, like in its tracks. They have to up the medication. You got to constantly take it on a daily basis. If you skip a pill or two, you skip a day or two, you're screwed, right? Because now you start going down this rabbit hole that you can't reverse, and then it gets worse. And then what? So again, no, they just need to be locked up. Done. None of this, they deserve a life too. No, they don't. It sucks that they were born that way. It sucks that there was some kind of chemical imbalance, but you can't help everybody. And I'm tired of this world, or rather New York, and places like New York, thinking they can help everybody out. You cannot help everyone out. You cannot help every homeless person into a home. You cannot help every psych patient into being better. You can't help everybody who's chronically depressed. Unfortunately, it is what it is. The world is not meant to help people. But liberals have it under their mind that they can help everybody. You really can't. Some people, suffice it to say, it has to happen. They have to be left alone, or they have to be put in a psych institute. Some homeless people, you just got to leave them be. They want to be out in the street, or in the woods, depends on where you are. Halfway houses and work programs, I mean, that works for criminals. It don't work for psych patients. Again, they miss a couple of doses, they're screwed. And that's the thing. Yeah, Jordan, you can't save everyone, but I don't know where people got this ideology that you can't. When I started working EMS, when I started riding around in an ambulance, I realized real fast that you can't help everyone. It's not built for it. We are not built for it, and society's not built for it. And the true fact of the matter is, in the animal kingdom, or in this world, we are not designed to help everyone out. Some people, they have to walk into the sunset and that's it. Or walk off the end of a pier into a deep ocean. You know? It just is what it is, you know? I try to understand, you know, certain things as well, and I've come to the conclusion you can't, you know? There's some shit out there that you just can't. My nephew's girlfriend needs to be in a psych ward. Listen, and the worst part about it is, you know, like guys are always saying women need to be in a psych ward. There's a lot of people that need to be in a psych ward. I guess they just don't want to. I don't know what the excuse is, that they don't want to put them in psych wards. Maybe they don't have the manpower to do it. Who the fuck knows, man? But whatever's going on, whatever I'm seeing out here in the streets is just getting bad. It's just like I said, there's a guy that lives in this building. I'm waiting for them to take him out. And this guy in the building, there have been multiple occasions, actually it's only two, where I was ready to knock him the fuck out. And one of my buddies was like, yo, leave him alone. If you go hands-on, he's going to call the cops. I'm like, then he's going to have to call the cops because it's about to happen. You know, and then the guy would walk away. But I don't know what he thought I was or who I was, but he was like, yo, you talking to me? He started taking his shit off. I'm like, you take one more piece of fucking clothing off, we're going to start rolling around the ground. And he was like, oh yeah, and he's like he's doing all this shit, and he's throwing fucking air punches. I'm like, I'm right over here. I don't know why you're throwing punches in the air. And then, you know, I went to go take a step, and my buddy's like, no, leave him alone. He's like, and I go, why? He's like, he's going to use these cameras against you. I was like, he's one of those dudes? He goes, absolutely, he's one of those dudes. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? This guy's sitting here fucking throwing punches and haymakers in the air, and he's gonna call the cops? I was like, come on, man. I never heard of I never in my life heard of anything like that. He was like, yeah, he did it to me. He goes, he did it to me. I was like, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, and I wasn't even trying to fight him. I was like, no kidding. That's my buddy said. He wasn't even trying to fight him. He just I was like, what the fuck, man? I think you can't even fight crazy people anymore. Like, you used to be able to fucking go rolling on the ground, whoever wins, right? You can't even do that anymore because now they're calling the cops. I'm like, imagine. This guy is crazy, but he's like, he ain't that crazy. He loses the fight, he's going to call the cops. He wins, he's going to leave you alone. I'm like, so I have to lose a fight to him so I don't go to jail? That don't make any sense. I just couldn't believe that. And then for the rest of the day, I was baffled. I was completely baffled by the whole thing. I was just like, this dude is going to call the cops if I couldn't understand it. I never heard anything like that. Like, there are people in the streets you fight, and yeah, they'll call the cops on you if they lose, which is bizarre, right? I've never heard of such pussyism ever in my life. The fucking bitchosity that's out there in the world is insane. Imagine getting into a fist. Back in the days when you got into a fist fight, you shook hands, you walked away. Now guys are like, they get beat up, they're calling the cops. I'm like, oh my God. The bitchosity is fucking, the scale is just through the roof in the streets. I'm like, so am I the only one still fucking willing to, like, I make no promises in winning a fight. I'm not one of those guys that are like, yo, you know, I'm gonna whip your ass. No, I'm like, we're gonna tussle, and whoever wins, wins. That's how I gauge my fights. I don't gauge my fighting like I'm gonna whip your ass and I'm a better fighter. I don't know who this guy is. I can't tell what his fighting skills are. But I'm telling you right now, if you're one of those dudes that like to call the cops, your fighting skills can't be tight. And I don't have tight fighting skills, but I can hold my own. But this bullshit, calling the cops after you lose, oh my God. The bitchicity is fucking high. I just never heard of such pussyism in my entire life. Never have I heard that in my entire life. I couldn't understand it. I was having a hard time grasping the concept. And I'm like, damn. And then you got then you got like skinny crackheads trying to square off with you. I watched a dude in the street the other day square off with some guy, and I'm like, you better leave him the fuck alone. I'm talking to the crackhead. The crackhead's like maybe 50 pounds soaking wet. He's a little dude. He's all wiry and skinny. He's cut up. He's got muscles and shit. But he's all like this and shit. He's in the wrong stance. Everything is wrong about this guy squaring up with a bigger dude. I'm like, yo, he's going to wreck your shit. Leave him the fuck alone. Fuck that. And I'm like, oh, God. And he sounded like a fucking mosquito. Because he was like screaming at the guy. He was like, I'm like, this guy sounds like a fucking mosquito. He's like, and I'm like, I didn't even understand what he was saying. I just heard mosquito language. I'm like, where's the mosquito fucking translator when you need it? Because I didn't understand what the fuck he was saying. It was the most bizarre shit I've ever seen. Like, it was just like, and I don't understand. Like, was it the drugs that was making him talk like that? Like, I don't get it. I don't get why he was. I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Why the hell do you think you could take this man on? This man could probably blink and you would be bouncing across the street like a rock. And this guy's fucking sitting there squaring up on him. And he was looking up at him. I'm like, stop. I walked away because I knew the other guy wasn't gonna go hands on with him. But it was just like, holy shit. That was bizarre. That was the most bizarre shit. Like, this guy thought he could win this fight. It was holy shit. I never seen anything like it. But yeah, that was stupid. And the thing is, you see more stupidity out here. You see, just like, I watched a girl and she was walking alongside with me. She was actually keeping pace with me, and I was trying to walk faster. Right? I almost turned into a full walking, like that gay walking bullshit, because I'm trying to get away from her. She's all like this and shit, and she's smoking. But she's like walking like a zombie, but she's walking at a fast pace. I never seen that before. She's all like, I think she was making zombie sounds. I had my headphones in, so I couldn't hear. But she was like, and that's what she looked like. And I was like, what the fuck? And she's like smoking and walking, and she's got a bag on her arm, and she's a young girl. She has to be maybe in her 20s, all fucking, I'm like, get away from me. You look like you smell. See you later. And then I fucking took off on the wood, like almost a sprint, just to separate, because I didn't want people to think we were walking together, Like, not at all. We're like, oh, is that your girlfriend? I will smack the shit out of you. That's why you fucking break stride with somebody, so they don't think you together. I was like, I generally don't give a shit, but this girl looked fucking like she had everything under the sun. You name it, she had it. But it was fucking bad. And that's the kind of shit we're seeing here in the city. We're just seeing more crackheads. And they're just doing oddball shit. One lady was outside begging for a donut at it was like a pastry place. I think she was begging for a donut. Like, not something to drink or eat, a donut. I mean, like, that's how high sedity these homeless people are here. They get to pick and choose what they want. They're like, they want to eat, they'll beg outside of a McDonald's. They want a treat, perhaps, or a cake. They'll go outside of a Dunkin' Donuts or a bakery. They want a hot cup of coffee, And that's the thing, Josh. These homeless people have cell phones. How the fuck are you homeless and a drug addict and have a cell phone? They're like, they look up on their app, whoop, let's go see where my drugs are today. Oh, I'm going to go to this block over here. It's fucking bizarre that I'm seeing this shit in the city. I've never seen rich homeless people, because that's what they are. They get to pick and choose what they fucking want. You look like you smell. She looked like she smelled like everything under the sun. She looked like she smelled like, and the wind was blowing in our favor, so I didn't want to. I was just like, ugh. And she was, again, a young girl. She had to be maybe early to mid-20s, maybe. I just couldn't understand what the fuck I was looking at. I was just like, oh God, she's gross. And she just couldn't walk a straight line, but she was walking fast. Who does that? Who the fuck does that? She does. But yo, it was just it's just some wild shit out here, and it's not like back in the 80s when we were growing up, the crackheads were all over the place, right? But they would get their crack from the drug dealer, thank you, and then they would fucking run off. They'd scurry up the walk. You'd be like, oh shit, they're going to their crack spot to do their drugs, to mind their business. You know, they fucking just scurry into a car and start lighting up a pipe. I watched a crackhead sitting next to my car. I was going to say something, but I was like, no, leave him alone. He's sitting next to my truck on a like a plant pot or some shit. He was sitting there with a crack pipe in the open, just like, I was like, what in the actual fuck? They're just smoking drugs everywhere. Back in the days, drug addicts had the decency to go hide somewhere. They hid into sewer systems. Yes, they did. Believe it or not, they hid out in the train tunnels, not in the station, in the tunnels. They found abandoned buildings. There's almost none now, so there's nowhere for them to really hide. But it was bad. And it's getting bad now because they're in the open. Back then, they weren't in the open. They hid. And at the very least, you could pretend that they weren't outside or they weren't there. But now, they're everywhere. And this guy had a legitimate pipe in his hand. And I hadn't seen a crack pipe in years. And here this guy go, I think it was a dude. I don't know what it was, actually. It was bent over, and I saw a fat crackhead today. Yes, I did. She was fucking pleasantly plump, and she was like, looking through her bag, but she had that drug essence on her face because she was all zombie-like, but she was all plumpy and shit. I'm like, I've never seen her. This is why I got to do a live stream. You guys got to witness the shit I witnessed. That the only way to settle this conversation is to show you guys what I'm seeing outside. That's it. So I have to do it around like noon or so, like the peak of crackism, when they're all outside. Mike, we don't have meth here. Like, we do have meth, but it's not like it is out in the Midwest. It's here, but it's not close to that. Did she have big fun bags? I didn't look. I didn't care. I just couldn't believe I was seeing a fat crackhead. I was in awe with that alone. I was like, how is she? What? Whew. Crazy. She won't be long. But yeah, it's pics, or it didn't happen. Well, videos. I'll show you guys. I'll do a stream, and then you guys will be like, holy shit. You're going to see some bizarre shit. See a lot of bizarre shit, man. It's crazy. I don't understand it. So anyway, with that, the chaos of summer, are we seeing something similar to that? There was a protest, Columbia College, last week. There was a graduation, and the graduates got their diplomas and started burning them outside the college. And the cops got involved. I don't think it got too handsy. Some people got arrested, but it wasn't heavy. It wasn't heavy-handed. But they were burning their diplomas because that guy that they arrested from Columbia College, the main leader, the Muslim dude, I don't even think he was a student there. I know he was a student because somebody mentioned it. The dean of the school or college made a comment. I know you guys are sad because such and such is not here today, but we will go on in his spirit. He's not dead. He's not dead. Ben, I did not see Final Destination. I saw Mission Impossible. I didn't see Final Destination yet. But yeah, so they were burning so imagine, granted, they can get another diploma. I guess them burning it was to show their support, but they're going to have to produce their college diploma when they go for jobs. So they're going to have to request it again and pay for it this time when you had a fucking free one in your hand. These kids are entirely stupid. But anyway, I'm seeing the same pattern that might lead to a summer of chaos. Though, it's just going to be these smaller protests that no one cares about. I don't think we're going to see anything grand this summer. I don't think we're going to see any kind of war or not war, excuse me, let me walk that back. I don't think we're going to see anything that's going to spark the Third World War. I know a lot of people were talking about something that happened in Germany or whatever it was, and, Putin went bananas on Ukraine. I don't think that's going to spark anything new. I think a lot of people are scared to go down that road anyway. But with that, again, a lot of people are talking about a summer of chaos. I think we're just going to see localized shit. I don't think we're going to see anything grand. I think people are somewhat nervous as to what could happen. But hey, listen, guys, I said it before. I'll say it again. I don't think a lot of the shit that's going to go down is going to go down. Ben, yes, I'm going to see 28 years later. Absolutely. I don't think a lot of the grand shit that we were nervous about and other channels are nervous about. I don't think we're definitely going to see it. Yes, the Mission Impossible movie. I am going to do a video or a live stream and talk about it, but there was a lot of interesting AI related shit going on in that movie. And in the movie, it was an end of the world scenario. It was Skynet, is what it was. It's basically what he did. He took Skynet in its first stage, and they made a movie about it. Right? It's called The Entity and Mission Impossible. Definitely check it out. There's a lot of similarities of shit that goes on in that movie that we're starting to see now. Later tonight, I'm talking about more hazardous AI that involves you and I. There's going to be a lot of sick shit with AI coming out, and it's going to affect the masses. I'm even doing a video on AI completely removing YouTubers. That is going to be bad. Crossbones, I did not see Sinners yet. And yeah, they're going to replace a lot of YouTubers. They're scanning our faces. They're learning our mannerisms, the nuances of our facial expressions. And they're developing AI so that they can replace creators, or as many creators as they possibly can, so that they can put more money back into their pockets, which would be billions of dollars if they did that. People do not care whether or not... There are some people that want a genuine human that they can talk to, or at the very least relate to. And that's what their AI is developing. I think we have another 5 years before they definitely do that. Look up Collapse OS. Should I do that now? I'll do it in a little bit. Collapse. You know what? I'll look it up now. Fuck it. Why wait? Wait a minute. He just said look up Collapse OS. Bootstrap post. Collapse technology. Oh, very interesting. According to the description on the page, Collapse OS is a self-contained, self-hosting operating system that runs on minimal and improvised machines and can program microcontrollers. This is designed to preserve the ability to program through civilization collapse, live in dusk OS. I don't know what the fuck that meant, that last part, but that is crazy. Derps started building Collapse OS in 2019 in an attempt to preserve mankind's ability to program 8-bit microcontrollers. Huh. Sounds like some end of the world shit. Very, thank you, whoever, I forgot who posted that. Appreciate it. But, yeah. I don't think, like I said before, we're going to see this grand nonsense. We're definitely going to see some shit, but I don't think anything big. As far as AI replacing all of us on YouTube, that's coming. Believe it the fucking not. Listen, guys, with AI, you have to be super, super creative as to where AI is going to go and what AI is going to do. Angel said, new chat GPT model refuses to shut down when instructed. AI researchers warn. No shit. Thank you for that. Hold on. Let me see if I could copy and paste that. I don't think I can. That fucking sucks. Angel Armory, if you could email me at angryprepper@yahoo.com and send me the article. That would be greatly appreciated. Now, listen, guys, I'm more worried about AI than I am about the tariffs, which seemingly nothing's going on with that. I know that a lot of YouTube channels are like the tariffs this and the tariffs that. I haven't felt or seen anything tariff related. I haven't seen a giant increase in anything. I was talking to Prepper Revelator just before the show. He says he hasn't had any problem finding car parts. I haven't seen any increases in prices on anything online. I haven't heard anything about food, and people were talking about food, and I don't understand why. Most of our food is made here in the United States, with the exception of some exotic shit and coffee, certain fruits, things like that, and I still haven't seen anything bad in that regards or price rise in that regard. But all of the bullshit that we've been warned about for the last few years is not happening. I think that something else, I think that whatever's going to happen is going to be a curveball we never fucking saw coming. Tariffs are going to be kicked down the road, I guess. It still doesn't. Again, all of the warnings and the problems that we were going to see, you guys, you better get your extra supplies. Extra supplies are what? A fucking computer and a phone? Get the fuck out of here. When people are like, you got to get extra supplies, if you look up the shit that was being affected by it, there was by no means you had to run out and get more computers, more iPads, more mics, your phone. Because I know that Trump was talking about dropping a giant tariff or a high tariff on Apple. Who gives a shit? I'll stick with this phone for the time being. The layoffs ain't fake, though. No, the layoffs are not fake. But I still haven't seen anything that I should be concerned about. But, everybody was warning about the fucking end of the world and all this bullshit. But I'm like, and like eggs. Eggs have decreased again. Milk has come down. Not a lot, but it's come down. AI has us now. AI has us all, man. Again, the whole YouTube shit. Wait till they start introducing more AI personalities. I don't know what to call them. AI talking heads, maybe that's what you want to call them. Wait till they start introducing that shit. That's gonna scare the shit out of a lot of people, because that's gonna definitely end a lot of people's finances. Because that's the thing with AI. AI, guys, is to replace, not save us, not keep us safe. It's supposed to replace the monetary gains of companies and put it back into their pockets instead of paying us out. So instead of paying myself or Mr. Beast is probably not going to go anywhere because he is way more recognized and makes a lot of money. But smaller channels like myself, Hudson Valley Prepping, we might be replaced with somebody similar to us, but not us, right? Or they're gonna go after the higher channels, and I'm not a big channel at all. I'm still a small channel, but they still might test it out with small channels and put somebody similar to see how that's gonna react and how it plays out with the people watching. But they are going to replace a large percentage of YouTubers with AI talking heads. That is a guarantee. I would bet my fucking entire pension that they're going to do that without fail. But we shall see. Again, anything, guys, that's being planned or we know about isn't going to happen like the way you think it is. People like, what if they're not, like, if the WEF, for example, announces that they're going to shut off the internet to stop cyber attacks, they're not going to do it. I don't know what their game plan is. I don't know who they're trying to scare, but they are scaring some people. I mean, listen, if you're a coward, you're a coward. You're going to be fucking scared of your own shower. There's nothing you can do about it. Anything that's going to happen, guys, we need to handle it. We don't have a choice. It's not like we can get it together and start firing back or attacking people. But thank you, Jose, for the email. Appreciate it. But yeah. That big cockroaches. Yeah, listen, you have to use your imagination with this shit. That's all I say. All I said that you definitely need to use your imagination, what AI can do and what it's going to do. Maybe I know that Trump did sign he didn't want to regulate AI, but they sent something where they regulated AI a little bit. But AI doesn't need to be regulated a little bit; it needs to be regulated a lot. And there is somebody, obviously, not Sam Altman, who's one of the AI founders, or Jeffrey Hinton, who's the godfather of AI. They've been warning against AI and AI's rapid growth and danger. There's somebody else absolutely talking to politicians about not regulating AI. Whoever it is, and it's got to be the higher ups, the elites, that are paying this off, the AI is essentially dangerous. And they're like, well, if we can't get people to fall in line with the arm ticket or a outbreak, well, maybe we can use AI to shut the world down. And they absolutely will. In fact, you might start seeing more banks getting hacked into with the help of AI. Now, right now, AI doesn't have the capacity to hack a bank, but it has the capacity to help a hacker hack a bank. A dual partnership, if you will. Jordan, like I said, there is a no, let me walk that back. There is a rumor of a self-aware AI, but again, it's locked in like this digital prison. It's been something I've read online for a couple of years now, and I thought it was just a story, just somebody making some shit up. But the more I started reading into it and different drips and drabs of the story, the more I started seeing how this could be a real thing. This AI that's self-aware, that's again locked into this thing. And in fact, anybody who walks into the room with this AI cannot have any device that links Bluetooth or otherwise when they walk into this room. They can't have any electronics on them whatsoever. And I heard that, I was like, wow, that's pretty interesting. Now the more I start looking at AI and its growth, I'm thinking maybe that's real. Yes, Mohammed, AI itself can't do it right now, but hackers are supposedly using AI to help hack banks. Now, Jeffrey Hinton states, and maybe you guys should take note of this, but he has 3 different banking accounts from 3 different banks, so that his money is spread across 3 different banks, so that if one gets hacked, he still has access to another one. Now, someone just said, I forgot who it was, they said, how could AI be controlled? AI can be regulated. Like, listen, guys, the problem is there's a group of people who are for AI who will continue to tell you and brainwash you into thinking that AI cannot be regulated. AI can absolutely be regulated. Now, as far as criminal usage go, probably not. But if someone gets caught by using AI, you got to throw stiff penalties at them. A lot of things can be regulated. We are under the assumption that it can't be. And AI is one of the things that can. Right? Companies using it, you start boycotting them. And I know a lot of companies are using AI, so it's a little hard. But any company that you know that's using AI in lieu of people or firing their people to use AI, boycott those companies. Boycott Amazon. Boycott YouTube. Yes, RWD channel. AI has been used to, and it's more like large language model than it is true AI. So large language models have been deleting channels, comments, and spam, but they also been fucking channels in the same breath. And it can be pulled back, but we are constantly being taught that AI can't be pulled back and there's nothing that be done. And that's a defeatist mindset, a defeated mindset that they like to put into everybody. Listen, bear with me. During the Mr. 19 event, they told us, guys, that, Mr. 19 is out and is affecting people and there's nothing we can do about it. And then they go, the only way to handle this is making sure you stay inside. That was one. Then they told us, well, we can combat it if we get this arm ticket into people's bodies. We will stop Mr. 19 or slow it down. That was 2. And people believed it. So anytime, guys, these people sell you a defeated note on how to fight something, and then they tell you, oh, there's nothing we could do about it, that's them trying to tell you that they don't want to do anything about it and that they're going to let it run, and you start picking up the same consensus, oh, well, maybe we can't do anything about it. You absolutely can. There is a lot that can be done. but nobody wants to do anything about it. That's where it is, and that's the fact. Like when they tell you there's nothing that can be done with sex trafficking. There's too many out there. There's nothing we can do about it. Bullshit. We know every last one of those groups that are handling kids and handing them out like fucking soda pops, right? We know where they all are. So again, they give you that defeated attitude. They tell you, they start developing a defeated mindset in your brain, and you start to think there's nothing I can do about it. Doctors do it to you all the time. Or yes, groundhog, free hamburger and fries if you get this arm ticket. Doctors tell you all the time, and they tell people all the time, there's nothing we could do about this, that, and the third. Now you got people taking certain medications to combat cancer. Then you got people who are fighting against certain ailments after doctors told them there was nothing they could really do about it. Oh, we got to put you on medications. You got to start taking this to fight this problem. Meanwhile, they're finding out that fasting alone is solving a lot of medical issues, but they don't want to talk about that. But they put a defeated mindset in you, and you're done. Again, Grateful Prep, that's a defeated mindset. You can stop AI. AI can easily be stopped. It's electronic. It runs through a circuit system. It can be stopped. And I'm not breaking your balls, Grateful Preps, but you're thinking on a smaller mindset. You're thinking like this, and you're thinking like they're thinking, and you're thinking like they want you to think. It can be defeated. You got to think outside of the box. And I know a few ways how it can be defeated. But once you start soaking in their bullshit, you start believing it. Oh, there's nothing we can do about, kidnapped kids. There's a lot that can be done. There's nothing listen, they can stop obvious problems, but they want to go after you and your sugar consumption and tell you that you shouldn't eat this much sugar. Or cities like New York telling you no more big gulps, no more supersize this, supersize that. They're telling us how to not to be fat, and they found a solution. There is a solution for everything. It is a defeated mindset, Grateful Prep. It's absolutely, because again, you're not thinking outside of the box. And even Jeffrey Hinton talked about ways to stop it. Again, the godfather of AI. It's a defeated mindset, my friend. And listen, people with defeated mindsets don't recognize it. They don't recognize it at all. Again, people thought that Mr. 19 event was going to be stopped by an arm ticket. People believed that bullshit. People believed that staying home was going to slow down the spread. People believed that bullshit. People believed that, standing, a certain amount of distance away from people was going to slow it down. People believed that bullshit with that defeated mindset because you sat there and you kept listening to this bullshit over and over again. The cat's out of the bag. This cat can be put back in the bag because it's by way of electronics. That is how you can stop AI. AI is not some, disease or virus that's spreading from people to people, spreading in the air. It's something that is electronic and can be stopped. Competition will prevent any kind of hesitation. Grateful Preps, I understand that, but it can still be stopped. Anything can be stopped, period. There is no such thing as it cannot be stopped. Now, on the other hand, if it's gray matter or gray goo, right, or black goo, maybe that can't be stopped. If that was to ever become a real thing and get loose, maybe that couldn't be. But even then, it would stop at some point. But everything can be stopped, my friend. You just got to, again, think outside of the box and use your bigger brain to stop the problem. We will sit there and go, because listen, guys, a defeated mindset, and this is like not psychology 101, but I heard this years ago. The defeated mindset, you start planting that seed in people's heads so that they fight against you less. When you tell people certain things, they're going to believe it, and it's easier to go along than it is to fight against whatever it is. It can, and Grateful Preps says it cannot and will not be stopped. It can't. Again, Grateful Preps. You're thinking on the terms that they want you to think. There are ways to stop it. But again, do a little more research on it, and I can guarantee you can find a way to stop it. And the one way to stop it, and it's to stop it completely, is an EMP. That's one. Never mind other ways like viruses that you can plant into certain systems. Or, like right now, I get what you're saying. You can't avoid AI. And no, you can't avoid it. Well, you can. You can avoid it to some extent. But there are ways to stop AI. And we definitely need Sarah Connor. And we need Sarah Connor. But yeah, listen. We can argue about this all day. It can be stopped. And someone said AI hates water. AI hates a lot of things. I just hope AI doesn't reach a point where it hates humans, because then, yeah, we're definitely screwed. Now we're running around in fucking modified vehicles, racing around and away from fucking spaceships and shooting them out of the sky. But it can be stopped, my friend. We just don't want to stop it. There's a difference. It can be stopped. We don't want to stop it. But it can. It definitely. There's definitely ways to shut it down. But yeah, it is what it is. Where are you, John Connor? Yeah, Sarah Connor is my profile picture. Yeah, I get it, but it still doesn't. There's still ways to get around it. Don't forget to, yes. So, guys, other than that, I think, well, no, we got a couple minutes. But if you don't mind, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, whatever floats your boat. Meet George Jetson. Robots and not our enemy, people are. Author, you're going to find out fast how. And robots might not be our enemy as the shell goes. But if they're programmed to come after us, then they're going to be our enemies. I mean, listen, I'm not a big fan of people either. I mean, people suck. You see what's going on in the world today. That shit sucks. Wholeheartedly. But there's a lot. Daryl, I'm not ignoring your comment. I just can't fucking see all the comments. This thing jumps like a little bit at a time. And by a lot, too. What? I don't know what the hell that is. Mr. Jetson sell Bibles for feet pics. What the hell does that mean? And though Millhouse, AI does have its plot. I have to sit there and say that. AI has a place. It can definitely solve a lot of issues. But I think a self-aware AI, I think the government's also scared of it because it also can find a lot of cures for a lot of things, like cancer cures. I think there's a lot of it out there. I think it's some basic shit that we could be doing to solve our problems. Maybe we don't have to go pharmaceutical. First of all, to cure Mr. C's, there's a lot of things you can do. A lot. But AI can definitely solve a lot of health problems, that's for sure. Met the Rizzler. I have no clue what the Rizzler is. But they would definitely hate humans. But listen, guys, again, the defeated purpose, the defeated attitude has been put in society since we were kids. You go to school, and they tell you all the time. They tell you all the time what you should be. And then if you tell them, well, I want to be, I don't know, and I'm using this term loosely. If I want to be a gamer, teachers will tell you that's not a real job. But look at the people who are making millions of dollars on being a gamer. You got people, for example, I wanted to be a bounty hunter when I was younger. And I remember the teacher saying, that's not a real job. You got to look at something else. My mother corrected him real fast. It was like, no, the bounty hunting is a real job. And the teacher was like, really? She told me the story of a bounty hunter that he used to catch criminals and turn them in the New York City jails. Old timer, fucking guy, wore a trench coat, cowboy hat, was always catching his fucking perps. And he was making good money with that. But again, schools want you to fall in line. They want you to work in an office place. Some people are like, why don't you be a, schools are like, well, you'll say, well, I want to be a firefighter. Teachers will tell you, oh shit. Teachers will tell you, oh, that's a dangerous profession. Why don't you work in an office place? They want you to do some shit where you're sitting in an office, being controlled by a computer, or feeding data into a computer so that can computer learn. The defeated attitude, guys, has been something we've dealt with for a long time. And it sucks that now we have to fight against old timer like you. Yeah. Well, he was an old timer. Back then, he was an old timer. I don't even know why I said that, but yeah. He was an old timer back then. He was easily in my mother said his late 50s back then. He's got to be dead now or in his 80s now. But anyway, the defeated was dropped in our heads when we were kids in school. Your parents used to tell me, now, granted, listen, not everybody can be anything they want to be. I do have to say that. But there are a lot of things in life that you, like, I want to be a travel influencer. Teachers like, that's not a real job. They're travel influencers making millions of dollars and traveling the world. Office work is dangerous for your health 100%. Listen, I never, ever subscribed to an office job. I mean, I worked in an office place for a little bit, but because I was way too rambunctious for that, they let me go, right? I couldn't imagine, and I worked a night shift, so I didn't work during the day. When I worked in the office during the day, I saw that rat race. I wanted no part of that. So I wanted to be a fireman since I was a kid. And when I finally became a fireman, being a fireman and doing the shit that other people can't do is fucking bizarre. It's awesome. Because you got people, and there are guys I work with who worked in an office place, and they go, there is no other job on the planet like fighting fires. It just isn't. The amount of shit that you deal with, the amount of shit that you do is insanity. It's a freedom to being a fireman. Yes, if you're a probie or a probationary firefighter, there's still rules and regulations and things you got to follow, but you still get to do shit that people can't comprehend. You're not running around doing the same shit every day, day in and day out. You are always meeting someone new. You're always dealing with a new situation. That's a dream job to me. Being a travel influencer, though, yes, it might not be a real job, but you're still getting to travel the fucking world and make millions doing it. I'm on here making a little bit of change on YouTube, right? I didn't think I would be here doing this shit, but I'm having fun doing it. And when this shit stops being fun, I'm going to stop doing this. Patty says, I love my office job. I was a computer programmer. Listen, if you love your job, you love your job. AF, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. If you love your job, you love your job. Joseph is a butcher. Again, he loves his job. But that's the other thing, that's the other side of the coin. You gotta love your job, but you also don't want to be, you don't want to do the office job. I'm dead against the office job. I see where that's going. That's just, it's like a mini imprisonment. In my opinion, it's a mini imprisonment, Afraid was a realistic movie. Was it? And V Intuitive. I wanted to see that, but now I will. Thank you for that. It's a realistic movie. Nice. Groundhog. Yes, you learn how to cook. You learn how to cook as a firefighter. If you don't know how to cook and you become a fireman, you learn how to cook because you are forced to learn how to cook, and then you just get good at it. And then you learn what eating is when you become a fireman. Like, my mother used to feed us scraps. I shit you not. I thought chuck steak was the shit to have. I learned as a fireman, chuck steak is not what you want to eat. I learned that shit the hard way. And so when you start learning how to cook and you start learning tips, especially when you start looking at cooking shows on TV. But yeah. But yeah, you start learning it, and I become pretty good at like making burgers. Some of you've eaten my burgers, but I've gotten better. My skydive, thank you for the heads up. What you call it? Half chicken a man, or I call it half chicken a man because we take a small chicken, we roast it, and then we cut it in half. But we cut it into like quarters. Right, so you give a guy a quarter of a chicken, or a quarter of a chicken a man, however you want to call it. But I brine that first for a few hours, and then I stuff it with. Then I put a dry rub on it, and then I roast it in the oven for like an hour, hour and a half, right? Chicken marsala, that's my go-to. Meatloaf, which is just a bigger burger, that's my other go-to. Um, but you learn how to cook, you know. You learn how to cook. So it's definitely. Oh, I fried a hot dog the other day, and guys are like, "Yo, that was a very good hot dog." I was like, "I know, I made it." I will watch the movie Afraid. Thank you for that, and thank you for the donation again. AF, I don't know how to pronounce that. Alkif. Jordan, they only call it Angry Burgers because I made it a couple of times on deployment, and people were like into it. People thought it was really good. So, but yeah, chicken marsala. I even did fried lobster. Not at the firehouse. We can't afford to do that shit. Actually, you could afford to do it at the firehouse, but I'll give it a shot one day. But yeah, fried lobster. I did that once. The angry wiener. Yeah, man. Again, angry wiener fried. Excuse me, a hot dog fried. Yo, it's a game changer. It's a fucking game changer. You got to give it a shot. But some of the best chefs are firefighters. You know what? We do know how to cook, but I wouldn't say we're the best chefs. I haven't. I don't know. I guess. Yeah, fried lobster. Listen, I haven't had a lobster in a while, and that's because I'm trying to behave. You know, no pork, no bottom feeders. But a fried lobster, woof, that is my weakness. That and a good chocolate cake, my weakness. Oh my God. Now that I said chocolate cake, the amount of chocolate cakes that are going to appear on my Instagram now, it's going to be phenomenal. There are some buttery chocolate cakes out there. Don't get me fucking started. I'm hungry, and now all of this food talk is throwing me for a tizzy. But yeah, you learn, like I said, you learn how to cook. If you don't have a dish as a firefighter, you don't have like a favorite dish, you will develop a dish over the course of the years of being a fireman, all right? So not only putting out fires and dealing with people stuck in elevators, you learn how to cook as well. Grateful Prep said, my nephew is an NYC firefighter. Very good. Did he just get on the job? Spicy coated. That. Nutmeg, not a spicy coating. Salt, pepper, garlic powder, breadcrumbs. You egg it, and you egg flour, and then you deep fry it. The lobster tail, that is. Egg, flour, right? You get it. If it's wet, flour it, egg it, bread it, then fry it. So it's flour, egg, bread. Excuse me, and the flour acts as a binder and sticks to the lobster. Lobsters make me vomit. I don't know what to tell you. I do not know what to tell you. Also, another thing that I'm working on, French toast, biscuit French toast, right? So you make biscuits in the form of French toast. You bake them and then you cook them like French toast. I do butter. What is it again? Butter, egg, and then I fry it, or pan-sear it, if you will. Right. So excuse me. It's with French toast. I butter the bread first, then I dip it in egg, and then I put it on the pan. You do the same thing with the biscuit. You butter it first after you cook the biscuit from scratch. Then you dip it in egg, and then you put it on the pan, and then you coat it with cinnamon powder. Yeah, so it's like a French toast biscuit kind of deal. Again, this food fucking talk, man. But yeah, it is what it is. Jonathan, yes, I have a tool that allows me to open up a lot of elevator doors in the city. Not all of them. Some of them you have to smash them open, but for the most part, yeah. Mackenzie, I heard about Japanese pancakes. I don't like the way they look, but I would like to try them because everybody talks about it. Right? So everybody talks about how, especially downtown, there's 2 spots downtown that's Japanese pancakes. We talk about them all the time. But guys, other than that, I gotta go off now because I have to start the live stream configuration on Rumble to get it on to the Angry Truther channel. Anyway, other than that, guys, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it as always. I will see you guys in a couple minutes. Some of you guys in a couple minutes, and I'll see the rest of you guys Friday night, not Thursday night. Friday night, I'll see the rest of you guys. All right? Thank you.